contrarian, leave it to contrarian badass Reggie Middleton. He called the housing crash, he called the collapse of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers, and the crisis in the Eurozone banking system. Reggie Middleton.
What does buying Veritas do?
Well, I'm glad you asked. When you buy Veritas, you get a cornucopia of benefits, really depending upon what it is you want out of the purchase. For one, available immediately, you can always take the Veritas and redeem it back to us for our financial analysis and consulting, with supply constraints being understood. More importantly, your purchase of Veritas goes directly to fund the transformation of finance into peer-to-peer capital markets. What you're doing is, when you buy Veritas, you are paying to decentralize the financial system of the world. So, as stated in earlier videos, the status quo, big bank, central bank, other banks around it, money center banks, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citibank, JP Morgan, and then regional banks around those, and then you have the regular customers who deal directly with regional banks and national banks and global banks and money center banks. Long-winded way of saying big powerful gatekeepers, okay, standing between you and your money, standing between you and the others that you transact with, and every time you want to make a transaction, they take a piece and put it in their pocket. When you purchase Veritas, you fund the decentralization of this central authority. So we take all the central banks and money center banks, we pick them up, we move them over to the side, and we allow Peter to deal directly with Paul, Paulette to deal directly with Susan. Peer-to-peer finance. You are paying to decentralize finance, to create mini banks within each and every other person. Basically, you take your wallet, you digitize it, you make it smart, and then you deal with contracts. You open your wallet up, create a contract very quickly, you send it out to the blockchain, someone else accepts that contract, you have a deal. These contracts could be for exposure, investing, transfer of value, simple agreements, letters of credit, transfer of information, anything that could be considered value. Very, very interesting. You are ushering in Internet 3.0. And of course, since Veritas should be, it will be a scarce commodity, the more people that come in, the more entities that come in, the more users of Veritas, the greater the demand for Veritas, and the more valuable the Veritas is. Okay, we plan to make Veritas available to everybody. We plan to use it to decentralize finance on many levels, if not all levels. So not just cryptocurrency enthusiasts and specialists, not just the smart nerdy types, not just finance guys, but everybody. Hedge funds, pension funds, mom and pop savers, scientists, schools, students, everybody. Use Veritas to gain access to the peer-to-peer markets. Use Veritas as the key to get in. Once you get in, these capital markets are friction-free, almost free, without any management sales. So even though we're upending the business model of Wall Street, we're releasing a lot of the capital. Many of those tens of thousands of multi-million-dollar bonuses now go to the actual users versus those who are paid to administer the users. Return of the capital to the people. Hopefully I answered you in totality, made a complete answer, because I actually feel this. This is a passion of mine. This is more than just a project, definitely more than a capitalistic pursuit. This is my contribution to changing the world, making it a better place. That 10-year-old girl in Sri Lanka, who could very well be a mathematical genius, but never gets access to the markets to compete with the quants from Goldman Sachs that graduated from Harvard, who I think many people would think you know, it's no competition between this 10-year-old girl in Sri Lanka or this 12-year-old boy in Nigeria or even this 6-year-old prodigy in Haiti. All they need is an internet connection and a very, very small amount of capital to get started. So small, we're talking 80 cents, $1. Peer-to-peer capital markets. Mass democratization of finance.
In terms of time, what can I expect in a time machine if I jump on and buy coins?
Okay, I understand. Well, you have the immediate effect, okay, of the ability to redeem directly to us. Veritaseum, unlike many other initial coin offerings, actually has a product that is past the MVP, minimum viable product stage. It's actually been running in beta for years, since December of 2013. We are porting that to the Ethereum blockchain, okay? That's gonna take some time. I'd like to say we could get it done within a few months. We could definitely get an alpha, beta, pre-beta done in a few months, but something that's production ready and ready for the masses would be a matter of 1 to 2 years out, okay? Taking a guess on this because there are a lot of things that are not visible now that should be visible as we start to do it. For instance, we're looking at complex or realistic dynamic pricing that prices all transactions by complexity versus the amount of capital, the amount of notional assets under management. So the way we're going to do it is 15 cents is going to cost the same as moving $15 million. But if that 15 cents is based contingent upon the rising of the sun and the convexity of, the lunar orbit, if there is such a thing, then that will cost more. The reason we're doing this is we're trying to, again, turn the Wall Street business model on top of its head. So, obviously, the first thing that may come to many mind who are not familiar with the business and what we're doing, or maybe who just don't understand the scope of what we're doing. Now, first thing that comes to mind is 1 to 2 years. Wow, that's a long time. But understand what we're doing. We're transforming finance. We're creating a new form of capital markets, a new economy. So, the internet was not built in 13 days or even 13 months. It wasn't even built in 13 years. It took time, okay? We're rewriting the software to enable full autonomous transactions. So in doing that, we are operating roughly on the same timetable as, say, a development company that will build a building. I'm sitting here in Brooklyn now, so if you turn around and take a look, this is Brooklyn Tech. Okay, that is a decent sized building. It's a popular school, specialized school in Brooklyn. I'd say that building took about 18 months to 24 months to build. You know, roughly 1.5 to 2 years. Okay, monumental building, decent task. In that same time period, we're not trying to transform that one block in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. We're trying to transform the entire world. We're creating an on-ramp for everybody to do business directly with each other, regardless of geopolitical affiliation, geographic proximity, socio-political stance, socio-economic stance, where you stand in the hierarchy. We're opening up value. We're releasing significant value by allowing everybody to deal with each other. Everybody. I'm very proud of just the fact that we can conceive such. Even more excited by the fact that we build tools that enable it, and further, even much more excited that we're much, much closer to accomplishing this. we have the tools, we have IP that we own, we have the beginning, and with your assistance in this initial coin offering, we'll have the funding to make it a reality in the very, very near term. Now, between these 18 and 24 months, roughly 1.5 to 2 years, I expect to have minimally viable product considerably before then, because we've already have a product that's up and running in the beta stage. This is being rewritten in Ethereum. Ethereum is much easier and faster to write these type of contracts than Bitcoin and Bitcoin script is. So, replicating what we have and adding a few tweaks to it, I'm definitely not going to commit to a time period, but I would not be shocked if within a few months you get to see something new and original pop its head up. And we're going to be running it and running it and running it. It's going to be in the beta for a few years, but we will give warnings. We'll probably have capital limits in case people who don't adhere to our beta warnings fail to put too much capital in. But I'm confident that we will change the world a whole lot faster than it takes to build a large building in Brooklyn, Manhattan.